Hi, today I have another viewer question, and it's regarding jobs. I got this question from my Discord server, which you can join today. Look at the link in the description. Um, is there a must to follow society rules? Parentheses, not including laws. I'm living in Malaysia, an Asian country. I don't know if it's normal. Like, you need to make your boss like you, and you need to be competitive with others. I'm working as a sales agent. It requires communication skills towards customer and boss. At the same time, we need to do online posting of the products. However, I realize that I don't feel comfortable in office work and formal attires. I hate that I need to make my boss like me. I hate that I need to listen to everything my customers want. I hate that I need to take responsibility even when it's not my responsibility. I hate that I need to know so much knowledge just to handle a job. So, the only reason I don't leave is that I don't know where I can go. Which job is suitable for me? Can I survive without a job? Can I get rid of the social rules? Some friends of me say it's not a company problem, and that I can't handle stress. Some people say that it is a company problem and I should just switch companies, so I don't know what to do. So let's try to answer this question. There are a few points that are required to discuss this problem a little bit in depth, okay? So the first thing is everything, right, is relative to some context, which means everything is up to multiple interpretations. So is this a good circle? Compared to this, it's a good circle, right? But compared to this, not really. This, right? Like after you see this one's kind of a horrible circle, right? So, but compared to like this is an excellent circle. But what about compared to this? Like this is just the color red, right? So how can we even compare it? Or can we compare apples to oranges? Who knows, right? So what I'm saying is, this is a simplified example, but let's say pineapple, right? Are pineapples good? Some people really like it, right? For some people, it gives them a lot of acid reflux, so they don't like it. Some people are passionate pizza lovers and they don't like Hawaiian pizza, therefore, transitively, they don't like pineapple. But I happen to love pineapple. And so on, right? But it's the same pineapple, and it just depends on who is seeing and who is looking at this pineapple from what perspective, right? Why this is important, we'll talk about it a little bit later. So, the second thing that you need to keep in mind for this topic is that our mind, right? The brain inside of you has the tendency to do two things. Number one, when good things happen, it will acclimate, which means you will get used to the good thing. The other part is when bad things happen, your mind will want to prioritize on the bad thing and bring a lot of focus to this. This is a general tendency of our mind. Does this mean that we can never acclimate to the bad thing or we can never focus on the good things? No, that's not what I'm saying, right? But in general, we have a negativity bias because the things that give us negativity tend to be stressors. And when stressors accumulate in our lives, it threatens our sense of survival and life. So, as we are living organisms, we have this need to make sure that our life is sustained, right? So that's why the negatives tend to be focused a lot more. And good tends to be acclimated because why? The good feelings generally have a diminishing return. One brownie is amazing, two brownies are double the amazing, triple brownies it becomes a little bit questionable, fourth starts becoming a little gross, and five you will probably not want that, right? So just like that, coupled with diminishing returns and some acclimation, you will always sort of only go up in terms of expectations. You will never reach the same level of satisfaction given the same amount of stimulus. Why are these two things important? Number one, so society, right, has these things like constructs, like a job and money and like markets and economy and social expectations of like reciprocity. So if I smile, you smile at me back. And if I do a bad thing, then I will go to jail. And so society has these sort of constructs. And are these constructs good? Some of them have flaws, right? But it's important to note the purpose of a society and the composing factors of society. It is existing in order to kind of simplify your life and make your life a little bit less involved, right? If you don't have any money, any concept of money, then without money, how do we make transactions, right? How do we determine the relative value of something? Money is an abstracted form of the relative value of something, right? So I have 5 oranges. Can I trade that for your Tesla? I don't know. Without money, like, how can I tell? Maybe some people really like oranges and they really find their Teslas worthless, right? And that happens to be one thing. But what if another person with a Tesla doesn't like oranges and they would happily give you 2 apples, right? So what I'm saying is, there's a purpose behind a society. And that purpose is to, in general, make a group of people's lives simpler. But what if you don't like it? Well, that's why democracy is celebrated as an idea, right? You, as the common person, have the power and the option to raise it up, bubble it up, get consensus, and then change society. But, given that, if you are not having a good time with the rigors of society, right? Then it is, according to my earlier point, you focusing on the negative parts and you having acclimated to the good parts. So what I mean is, like you note, when you don't have a job, right? What are you gonna do? You're gonna probably have to do something on your own, right? You're gonna have to, start your own business. But how can you make sure that business is less stressful than working for someone else? Because with your business, there's not gonna be a steady paycheck. It will depend more on your performance, especially because you're a sales agent already, right? So right now you don't like your boss, but can you be a good boss to yourself? A lot of the business coaching that I do involves the topic of not being a good boss, effective boss in their business. Because why? They never really learned how to be a boss from anywhere. They only learned from working how to be an employee. So when people start their business, they become an employee for themselves, but they don't play the role of the boss enough, right? Moreover, right now, when some people criticize your product, there's a degree of separation, right? So I think my products suck too. But when it's your business, now the criticisms can be very personal, right? So I'm a life coach, and somebody can be like, Billy, I don't like the way you coach. I don't like the way you talk. I just generally don't like you as a business, provider. Whereas, if I'm talking about my software engineering, like, hey, oh yeah, that product of yours sucks. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but because I'm not the CEO, like, it's not really mine, right? So, can you handle more knowledge? Can you handle being responsible for everything? And because why I'm asking this is, those are all the things that are sort of automatically being taken care of by the good part of your very socially respected, and not respected as in celebrated, but like socially compliant job. And at the same time, because the job comes with the boss, because a job comes with the responsibilities at the cost of a steady paycheck, you will have to endure some of these things. But now it's a matter of, which do I like more, right? Do I want to do I hate being in a job more than I would suffer in a business, yeah, then you can go into a business, right? Do I enjoy the perks of a job more than the instability of having your own business? Right. That's also a comparison you can make, right? But other people, like your friends, can say you can switch jobs, right? That's another possibility. But the thing is, once you switch jobs, right? You have job 1, and you have job 2, and you have job 3, and you have job 4, and so on, okay? But if you didn't like job 1, what makes you think that job 2 will be great? Because why? When you decided to join job 1, you decided because it looked pretty good to you, right? So, you can take the same bait and go to job 2, but then end up, oh, I thought I liked it, but not really. Okay, guess what? Then you can go to job 3, right? But again, it's the same facade, and then not like it. And suppose you get really lucky, and job 4 becomes really perfect for you. But there's nothing stopping it from changing, right? New boss comes in, old boss goes away, some new coworkers come in. So, when you live like this, your life is really never up to you. It's always dependent on external circumstances. So, my recommendation to you is it's important to learn about yourself regardless of where you are. So, if you're gonna take the time to learn about your humanhood, right? What do I like? What am I bothered by? When X stresses me, then why? When Y makes me happy, why? These are all things that you will have to learn about yourself in the long run of life, right? So, why not learn these things while getting paid? Because when you learn things, you typically have to pay tuition for your education, right? But right now, you're getting paid. And you have the opportunity to learn about yourself. And suppose you want to go to a similar line of work. Then you probably will need to know if you're going to start a business, like what does it take to start a business? What are our expenses? Where does our money go? How's the payroll? How are getting people? How much are people getting paid? What about our competitors? These are all things you can research and learn, not for free, but while getting paid by your company. And I would say that's a pretty sweet deal, right? So if you can shift and see your position as a resource for you, then I think the work experience becomes a lot more rewarding for you. Because why? Because you are seeing your work as a reward. So that is the more or less the point I wanted to make. Hope this helps. And if you have a question, you can always write them down in the comments. You can email me at billy@julylifecoach.com or come to my Discord channel and we can talk about it more.